Hello, good morning. Whoa, we had a big response from the video yesterday. Never expected that. But leading on from that, not to keep the flow going, but more to emphasize one very important thing about what is happening here in the Philippines. And that is that we will always talk about the poverty. We'll also talk about I suppose, the feeling of despair that so many experience in terms of Filipina or Filipino in trying to make ends meet. And therefore, with all of the influx of ideas that come from starting up a YouTube channel, the expectations of the youth or the young ladies to see what others are doing and discover that, oh look, I can make 500 pesos a month, or I can make 5,000, whatever it is. Of course, the opportunity to do that is not always that easy. It does take a lot of effort, and there's no guarantees anywhere, even in YouTube. But those that have been successful, no doubt are boosting their egos along with their bank balance, or should I say their pocket, rather than the bank. The thing is that with all of these changes that are going through the minds of young Filipinos who are observing the attributes as they see them of living in the West, living like a Western lady, feeling entitled to what they have, why is it not there for them? Well, of course, it is there for them, but of course nothing is handed to you on a plate. The example is that when you give your wife, maybe, or your girlfriend an allowance, if for argument's sake it is for food and groceries, and you're not able to necessarily pick up that money when it's being requested. Oh, Dada, when you're at the market, could you pick me up so and so? Well, yes, no problem. So you go out and you do that. Now, if you ask for reimbursement, because after all, she's the one that's supposed to be spending the money you've given her, she will hold on to that money. Very hard to get it once you've given it out. There's a feeling, again, of entitlement. You've given it to her, and why should I have to reimburse you? You got plenty of money. Well, that defeats the object of learning budgeting. And with all of the sidelines that now young women are doing, selling online, trying to make a few dollars here and there, they see that quite clearly and quite rightly as their own money. Now, of course, as money flows into their pocket, into their hand, this is what is changing the Philippines. The feeling that somehow they're now earning money and maybe they don't need your help as much, which of course, that's what we think. But really what they're doing is they're taking with both hands. They're taking with the hand that you give them money. And rightfully so, they're taking the money that they earn. They don't see it as a joint effort in the sense that we would have said, well, darling, I made $400 last week. Did you, darling? Oh, great. In the back of your mind, in a Western mind, is, oh, well, that's $400 more that the family has to spend on things that are important. For a Filipina, it's what's mine is mine. And that attitude tends to permeate? Yeah, I think that's the right word. See, I got it wrong the other day too. It seems to flow through their mind that what is theirs is not to be shared, whereas what is yours should be shared. And therefore, it can lead to a situation where they stand up for what they believe is their right. Now, how do they get to that point? You have to ask yourself, well, do they not see that combined finances is not about his or mine or hers? It's about everyone in the family. And I'm talking about the unit, the family unit. Not talking about mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, uncles, second and 97th cousin. I'm talking about wife, husband, children. And this is the problem that we have got. It's dog eat dog. There's a feeling that we don't need to see a family unit in those terms. And that's what does change attitudes. Once you see yourself as independent, like ourselves, we come here, we have money with us. If we can step back for a moment as we walk down the road and wander around looking at things on our own, there's a certain feeling of independence, a feeling of, well, I can do just about anything here. Now, they want to feel that way too. And by earning money, by them going out and earning that extra money, that installs in them that same feeling that we feel when we're on our own. They like to be able to, rightfully so, go out and, oh, I like that pink blouse, or I like those pair of jeans, oh look, they're Jag or they're Levi's. Oh, I'm going to have those. My friends will be so impressed. And that's where the problem lies. It's not so much earning the money either. It's the fact that their minds change to, again, image. As we've all seen, our Filipina, they make a beautiful meal. They don't just sit down and eat it. They've got to take 97 photographs from 900 angles and send it to their friends. Well, sort of. They post them, maybe on a short or maybe on TikTok with a dance music being played around it. But it's all about image. It's all about what we can achieve as Filipinos. That's how they see it. And if we dare to suggest that somehow we think there's maybe a better way of handling our finances, that's ours, hers and yours, then that's another story altogether. Oh, darling, don't you think we should get rid of that rattling old, wiggly and wobbly old washing machine? It's only 11,000. If we buy one of those, we can do it over 6 months. That way our payments are low and there's no interest being charged on it. Great idea, don't you think, dear? Oh yeah. Meaning, that's your job. You can pay for it. I'm not going to pay for it because I don't particularly want it. So you have to remember that a lot of the things that you think she wants actually aren't necessary in her mind. What's important to her is immediate gratification. You know, you say, oh, have the council tax been paid this year? Oh, I thought you'd done that. No. How am I going to do it? I haven't got the paperwork. Oh, I'll get it out for you. Then you say, well, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Everything that becomes related to things that you brought into the household, they become your responsibility. And therefore, they hoard away the money that they've acquired. And in some cases, it can be a sizable amount. I do know of some women who are making 30 and 40,000 a month, pesos, which is an astounding amount of money, given that they've also got foreigner husbands who are supporting the family. And again, when I use the word family, I mean mother, father not included, just wife and maybe the kids, and obviously the husband. So, whilst things are changing here, it's the attitudes that are changing most of all. To suggest that, maybe tongue-in-cheek, that you better get over here if you want a traditional lady, is maybe a bit of a far stretch, because there are a lot of them here too that will never necessarily get rid of that. You've got to remember that the Catholic Church has a very big hold still on the majority of the population. Even if they don't go to church every day, it's fundamentally in the background. I think many of you will have seen when you go and have a meeting or a gathering for a birthday, the minister or the priest comes and calls out a blessing. It's maybe a 10 or a 15-minute one. You wonder, oh, will we ever get to eat? And sure enough, that's what happens. And then, of course, you get to the table and everybody mills around the table thinking, oh, finally we're going to get to eat. Again, another prayer. So fundamentally, that is in their mindset all the time. And what's mine is becoming the motto these days. Just because you maybe think it's a good idea that she's working, just remember there are some side effects in the way she will treat you as a result of the increase of money that flows through her hand. And in many cases, some of you guys will find that very difficult to handle. It's a bit like that once a month difficulty, if you get my meaning. There's a complete change in the person that you're in front of. So, as much as the Philippines is changing, it's more about the women who are now waking up to the fact there are opportunities to make a lot more money. And they often don't need much in the way of encouragement from us. But what we need to understand is that there will be a major change in their outlook towards what is done with that money and how they perceive their position now inside that relationship with you, who used to be the sole provider of the money for the house. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button, and we'll no doubt talk again soon. Bye now.